Here's my beautiful blue Impala. Here's another risk I took. I meant to, I walked in wanting a cheap, affordable car, but I also wanted something reliable, and I wasn't finding anything. So I decided to just take the plunge, take the risk, because I'm driving a lot. It wasn't an expensive car. It looks like an expensive car, but it looks like an expensive car, but I actually got a great deal on it. I got a warranty. It's a little bit higher miles because it was a corporate vehicle. Somebody was driving it to their corporate meetings or whatever. So I mean, it's a nice vehicle. It's not totally loaded, but for the most part, it has what I wanted. How's it going, everybody? I've started the whole process of starting to apply different jobs, just looking at different opportunities that I could get into. I'm hoping for the best, preparing for the worst kind of situation, because I'm not done with school. I don't have my certifications quite yet. What I'm planning on doing is getting my certifications after I'm done with school. It'll just be a lot easier, and especially if I actually get into something that teaches me along the way. There's a lot of people that learn by doing, and reading all this material, going to school teaches you a lot of things. It prepares you, but it doesn't necessarily teach you the whole spectrum of what you're going to be doing for work or for your career. And I knew that getting into it, but talking to a buddy of mine really put it into perspective, and made me realize that I really need to start getting into something within my field of study. It's not going to be easy, but it's a whole different career field. I've been doing security work for almost 5 years, really, at this point. So it's tough. It's tough changing careers. It's tough taking the risks. It's a whole new, different perspective of what I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. I don't have experience, so I don't know what I'm going to be paid, things like that. So it's risks that I'm taking here, but I know the risks are worth taking because I know what I'm worth, and I know what they pay around here, just based on what other people have told me and things like that. But there's always more opportunities. Don't get too comfortable. I've been meeting a lot of people that get comfortable and don't want to go out there and chase the opportunities, I guess, and they just want to get by. They just want to survive. For some people that's cool. If that's what you aspire to do, if that's the person you aspire to be, that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying that it's bad, but that's how, in my personal experience, I've been the most depressed, and I've been the most anxious when I'm not doing anything and when I'm not aspiring to do anything. But when I'm busy, when I'm keeping busy, is when I feel the most accomplished, and feeling accomplished and reaching all my goals is what keeps me going. Really, each individual goal that I reach just makes me want to set more and more. It's a great feeling, and naturally, as a human being, your instinct is to reach your goals. So the video I made previously was about going to school, getting into your career, and what people might think. Now, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what I say. It doesn't matter what other people say around you. It's what you want to do. You could just take the risks, and I do suggest you take risks. because without risk, you're not gonna feel that level of accomplishment. Not everybody is gonna be satisfied with working a 9 to 5, in a cubicle in social work or whatever it may be. Really, even if you're making money, not everybody's gonna be satisfied. So think about what you're doing and set your mind to it, because anything's possible. Any goal is reachable, and yeah, just set your mind to it. Now it's been about 2 months that I've been living in the city. Well, correction, I've been living outside of the city. As I stated previously, I don't totally like being in the city, smack dab in the city, just because it's a lot more dangerous, it's a lot more traffic, it's a lot more to deal with. I like my peace and quiet, but I'm in a big enough town to where I have the sounds of a city without all the negative aspects about it involved. So it's pretty nice. There's nothing too much about the smaller city. If I want to go somewhere, I could just drive 10, 20 minutes and be somewhere. Go to Best Buy or go to eat, whatever. There's some pretty good places to eat, but so moving to the city, a bigger city more accurately, I moved to Minneapolis, and that was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I took that risk. It's not, I don't say take risks because it's something that I think about. I actually say take risks and reach your goals and set goals to reach, because I'm actually doing that myself. I'm actually doing that myself. I'm actually setting goals. Like, for example, about 2 years ago, I set a goal that within the next few years, I was going to move. It started out as I was going to move to the cities, to Minneapolis specifically, Minneapolis-St. Paul area specifically, within a few years. It was that I wanted to move in 2016, I believe, in 2017 is when I wanted to move, but it didn't work out that way. Just because I was getting promotions and it looked good on my resume. And it hasn't proven to be useful quite yet, but I do believe in the future. I have 2 years of experience in management. In the future, I do believe it'll help. Anyway, I was almost a year into management when I finally took up the opportunity to be one step up above in managing. I thought it was going to be so fulfilling, and I thought it was going to be great, but it turned out just to be the same thing. I still had a boss to answer to and all that stuff, and I wasn't totally feeling it. So just another year later, so I was 2 years in management, I was just like, this isn't gonna work. I don't want to be doing this for the rest of my life. I don't want to be dealing with this structure, I guess, or lack thereof. So I made a change. I took the risk of moving. I did get back into security work when I moved, but that's just because it's something I know. It's something that was a cushion to fall back on. Something I knew I could get into, something I could make money, and that's really, bottom line is, no matter what you want to do, you got to make money up until that point, until you reach that goal, until you reach that point. So I'm making money right now. I'm putting applications out there. I'm still working, so I'm not taking a huge risk. I'm still working, and it's good because it's showing that I've stuck to this job for over 4 years, with the exception of a 6-month gap, which most people understand that it's not that big of a deal. I try to do something to better myself. And then just came back and took a couple management positions down with me, really. I also reached supervisor of the month in that time frame. I've gone on 2 Dean's Honors lists for both colleges that I attended, so one of each, rather. And that's quite a big accomplishment to add to my resume. So yeah, all this stuff is adding up and looking good for me. So hopefully here within the next few weeks, I'll get some calls, I'll get some interviews. Now I'm not looking to land a job, on my first interview, and I know that's definitely not going to happen. I mean, maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I don't know. It's hard to say, especially with the bigger city. There's more competition to worry about. I was talking to a buddy of mine who I met through the company. Actually, I was working with him briefly, helping out. A lot of what I did in Iowa, coincidentally, but I was helping out, and he told me that there's a lot of opportunities out here, and he was turned down several times, hundreds, maybe even thousands of applications that he put out there. Maybe he was exaggerating a little bit, of course, but um, he put out he put several applications out there, and he was denied before he finally found some opportunities that popped up. First, he was in an internship, and then he was working for a school, and then he was working for an entire school district. So I mean, they're out there, and you're gonna get turned down, but don't be discouraged. I think that's a big problem is people get discouraged very easily. Um, like even I've stated in the past that if you have a business degree, you can't expect there not to be competition. That doesn't necessarily mean don't don't try to achieve something, because it's achievable. It's out there. It might not be, you might not be sitting in a suit, you might not be your own business owner, but there's job out there that are viable and that you can make good money in. For example, selling cars. I know people that make $70,000 to $100,000 a year. Now, I'm not saying they're going to make that right off the bat. You're going to have to learn for the first few years. For maybe the first couple of years, you're going to need to establish your customer base and move up from there. So for that, there's cell phones. I met people that make $50,000 to $70,000 a year. Now, maybe that's not going to be your peak. Maybe you're not going to start at that, but it's a start. It's a start, and it's better than making the average of 30,000. I think it was 30,000 last I checked a year for college graduates, or maybe even high school graduates. I believe. I think it was high school graduates, but it's significantly better than that, and the opportunities are out there. You just got to be willing to take the risks and not get too comfortable in one position. It's okay to make money, hustle in one job, but don't get too comfortable to the point where you don't want to keep looking for another job or keep bouncing jobs, or you get discouraged. Just get out there, put yourself out there. Don't quit.